Welcome back, everybody. We're back at it again with another album review. Before we get into the album, I want to make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to the video so we can keep up with all these new album reviews that I'm doing. I'm going to try to come out with them weekly. I'm also going to be having a lot more daily new music reactions as well, along with band interviews too. So make sure you guys are following the channel and staying up to date. Today, we're going to be slashing and ripping through the new album by Italian gore-loving death cult Fulci and their new album, Duckface Killings, out today, August 9th on 20 Buck Spin Records. Now, let's go ahead and take a dive into the band's history. Fulci is a death metal band coming from Castello, Campania, Italy, formed in 2013. The band takes their name after the legendary film director Lucio Fulci of the same name, who's crafted some of the best Italian horror in all of cinema. Some of these films include The Beyond, Zombie 2, and House by the Cemetery. Fulci as a band was so inspired by the fan director that they decided to not only name the band after him, but also release albums dedicated to some of his works. These albums include 2015's Opening the Hell's Gates, 2019's Tropical Sun, and 2021's Exhumed Information. For the band's debut on 20 Buck Spin Records, Fulci is presenting their fourth studio album today, with Duckface Killing taking homage to the 1982 Fulci film, The New York Ripper. After slowly growing in the underground death metal scene over the last few years, Fulci are really starting to make their claim to the throne as a true force to be reckoned with when it comes to underground old school death metal. And this album is a true testament to that. Each of these songs takes place from a different part of the film, appropriately with different types of killings that happen in the song and different types of events. The band definitely really knows how to just highlight the savagery and brutality that is being brought out in this film throughout into their music, like in that song Slasher Reality, with lyrics from the POV of the film's antagonist going through New York City through the subway systems. Kind of just drags you along for the ride and really has a really good storytelling element of what's happening and what's going on in this guy's mind, of just how fucked up he is. Like, you can kind of feel your heart racing with the drums and the beat just continuously going and going. And it really makes you feel like as if I was actually being stalked on the New York City subway stations. This is also evident in the second single from the album, Fucked with a Broken Bottle, which, spoiler alert, about being fucked with a broken bottle. And the band is not afraid to show off their many, many influences across the board. The song Maniac Unleashed, you can just really hear how the thrashing death metal elements into it, along with these elements of the Swedish death metal, like with tremolo picking as the riff is just continuously going. And then even adding in elements of slam into it as well. I think the band being based in Italy really kind of a lot of those Euro factors coming in together, whether that just be from just various types of slam bands from Italy or Portugal or wherever, and even like some Swedish death metal, UK death metal in there. The title track, Duckface Killings, you can definitely hear those slam elements into it. These insane slamming riffs and the coagulated gutturals that are just really drive home what this album really just shows, and just the absolute visceralness behind Fulci. The song, like in the song Sadistic Murder, it's a much more technically driven song, which has a lot of really cool speed tremolo picking that are layered beautifully with a really cool grooving hardcore riff that the band just lays down perfectly. The band's also not afraid to take risks with other elements as well. Because this is an 80s style movie, of course, there's going to be some really cool 80s synth elements in there as well. Very evident throughout a lot of the interludes in there, mixed in with a lot of samples from the movie, which I think is really cool. It's kind of, a sort of trait thing going back to a lot of different type of bands that have used samples from movies with those songs about the movie that they're sampling. I definitely love also just the influences with a lot of different types of just that 90s era death metal too, combining elements from Barnes era Cannibal Corpse. The homages are there to them as well. Ending with their last song, Stabbed, Gutted, and Loved. It just feels like a cool testament and just a salute to that Barnes era Cannibal Corpse that we love, especially even parodying the song structure with Stripped, Raped, Strangled, and Stabbed, Gutted, Love. even referencing the lyrics from that said song in one of the previous songs from the album, which She's So Beautiful, I Had to Kill Her. The band's also not afraid to take risks with other elements as well. Because this is an 80s style movie, of course, there's going to be some really cool 80s synth elements in there as well. Very evident throughout a lot of the interludes in there, mixed in with a lot of samples from the movie, which I think is really cool. It's kind of, New York City-based hip-hop group Nonfiction, who actually kind of slap. I never really listened to them. They have the Voivod parody logo, and yeah, it's good shit. With the song Knife, it really kind of just brings this cool, different hardcore element to it, to where it almost sounds like an E-Town Concrete song, but it's only short-lived, because then it just goes back right into just insane guttural Fulci that we all know and love. Overall, I definitely feel like Fulci has delivered just a bloody terrific masterpiece of bringing elements of horror movie themed death metal to the masses with this killer debut on 20 Buck Spin. Definitely the band's strongest release to date. I'm giving this an album an 8 out of 10. It's going to be a regular rotation in my playlist. This band has just gained an insane amount of popularity over the past few years, growing from a underground death metal band. It's kind of like a hearsay thing of like, check out this band, check out this band. So also along the same lines that you would hear a lot with underground horror movies. We know that Fulci is not that much well known of a director to the masses, but for the underground horror freaks like myself is included, very much respected, very appreciated, and very beloved and by dedicated fans. And those things really are the really cool parallels that I see within the band Fulci and the director Fulci. And it just shows getting them both to that sort of household name status to where they're going to be going in their respective areas. Fulci truly lives with this album. So with that being said, make sure you guys go and pick up the new Fulci record. It's out today, August 9th, on 20 Buck Spin Records. So get the vinyl, get the CDs, get the merch, get the wall flags. Go watch the New York Ripper. I did. It was a fantastic, fun throwback to just old school 80s horror slashers. Gutty, gritty, ugly. And make sure you guys get tickets for Fulci. They're going to be going out on tour later on this November on the Devastation of the Nation tour. That's going to be them supporting Morbid Angel, Suffocation, Wada themselves, Mortiferum, and Null. That's going to be all throughout the States from November through December. So get your tickets for that because that's going to sell out insanely. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys like these reviews. Let me know what you think below the new Fulci record. Let me know what your favorite song is off of it. Make sure you guys are liking, following, commenting, subscribing, yada, yada, yada. I have stickers for sale. There's a link for them somewhere. And I'll see you guys very, very soon on the next review. Take care. Bye-bye.